What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And it is going to just be a straight fire video today. We've got pickups from the week, we've got chases, we've got stuff that I've been looking for, but mostly I want to talk about the trade that I made today with one of the local collectors here. This dude is awesome. Another JDM guy just like me. And we made what I would consider probably one of the most epic trades ever. So you're gonna wanna stick around to see what we've got in this video. So first and foremost, I was fortunate enough to come across one of the fresh Kroger shippers as it was being unpacked. Now, before you get too excited, I wasn't able to find any supers. There were 4 cases that were brought out with it, all D case. The gentleman that was putting up the display let me go through everything, but I felt kind of awkward trying to record while he was setting up the area. So I just kind of quietly went through and I looked. Some great castings, obviously, from the D case, but I have a lot of them, and unfortunately, none of these Sonny Dotson supers. But there were a few things in the secondary the secondary case that comes along with the dump bin case, and that has the premiums and some of the other things and the exclusives in it. So I was able to pick up a cool few pieces out of there, specifically from the G case, because there were a few G case cars in there. So let's go ahead and talk about those. First and foremost, this is just an epic diecast, no matter what you guys think about Transformers as a whole, man. But this thing is just a bulky, big diecast. So definitely glad I was able to grab one of these. There were quite a few of them in the shipper itself, but I left the majority of them behind for other collectors to come by, because I'm not really a movie car collector, but it's Transformers. And so just like when the G.I. Joe jet is released, I'm going to be picking up one of those. Definitely wanted to grab one of these awesome Optimus Primes. Just really iconic from the 80s and super cool to have in the collection. And there's also another car that I was really trying to find, but I haven't been able to come across any of the G case until this big shipper. So many of you guys have seen this, and I've seen many of you even pass this casting up because you either got it or it just wasn't something you wanted to grab. But this was one that was on my have to have list. And of course, I'm talking about this baby right here, the beautiful Datsun 240Z, the beautiful cherry blossom livery on the side. Just an iconic car and just a beautiful way to make it look like an iconic Japanese tuner car. So beautifully done, and it's going to be a definite addition to the 240Z collection. Now, today, I was just stopping off at a Target. I was checking for some last minute items before we take our trip this summer. And this is a place where if you go in the afternoon, you're never going to find anything. So I was absolutely astonished to come across a couple of chases, and here they are. So I don't typically collect chases, so these will probably be trade pieces for me. But check this out, guys. Just in the vein of the, BK Super, check this thing out, the 49 Merc from M2 Machines. It is, of course, the 750 piece chase, and it was just chilling there. I was like, is that a chase? No. Yep, sure was. So certainly glad to come across this. There are plenty of guys in my area that are fans of these castings, and so I'm sure we'll be able to work out a pretty good trade. And I was on the same peg area, and of course, I was just flipping through and looking what else was also there. Came across the second chase. This guy right here, the 57 Plymouth Belvedere. It looks very familiar if you guys kind of look closely, but it is very close in the same vein as the Plymouth Fury, which we know as Christine. So the Belvedere and the Fury were very similar models that Plymouth put out. So definitely cool to have seen this. You can tell that it's the Target chase because it has the red instead of the green wheels from Greenlight. And then of course it has the metallic red base that lets you know that it is a chase. But I haven't found too many of these. I'm certainly not looking for them actively, but it was staring me in the face, so I thought I would go ahead and grab that. But all right, hold on, strap in, buckle up, whatever it is you do when you're about to see something amazing. But check this out. So I got a trade set up that me and a local collector have been working out, and this has been a trade that's been in the works for about 2 weeks. and we finally made it happen. And I can tell you guys, I traded some supers, and they were the best super trades I've ever made, because I think it's really what it is you want to have in your collection, vice what value is or what value is not when you're making these trades. So I think we were pretty equitable in how we set this trade up, and I think that he's happy with the supers that he got in return, but I'm very happy also with the things that I got in return. So let's check these out and see what we got here. So first and foremost, out of the Slide Street 2, of course, I'm talking about the beautiful GR Corolla Chase. And now this is one that I actually came across when Street Slide 2 came out. My sons and I did not know what the Chase car was, and we saw it, we passed right over it, left it on the pegs, and then when we realized that it was a Chase, we went back, and of course it was gone. So it's now in the collection, and super glad that it is, and it's another JDM Chase for the collection, but it's not done yet, guys. We're not even close to being done. So let's go ahead and see what we got next. So the next thing up, another Chase that I really wanted to have in the collection, and I've always been an admirer. Not a JDM, but definitely a beautiful, beautiful casting. And of course, I'm talking about out of the Autostrada set, the beautiful Volvo 142 GL. I love the way that this car looks slammed to the ground, and it is just an absolutely beautiful example of European design. And I'm glad to be adding this one to the collection. Not JDM, but you know what? Sometimes you got to make exceptions, and this is no exception. You had to have this one. If you are a true die-cast collector, you can appreciate the greatest things. And then, not to be shown up, and jumping into the sport utility realm, yet another Chase, the beautiful 2005 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. So I can remember when this set hit the pegs and people were clamoring over this Chase. And what I do appreciate about this one more so than many of the other Chases is you do get a little hint of silver and gray. It's not just a solid black like some of the other Chases are, and it's a great casting. I mean, the Land Cruiser name is synonymous with excellence, and this is definitely one of the nicer vehicles that Toyota has ever produced. We've never seen the Prado here in the United States, and we do have a new iteration of the Land Cruiser, but it is not the Prado. So definitely glad to have included that. All right, so next up on the fun train of trades, I was really, really stoked to be able to add this. Now, this is, for most of you, maybe you saw a lot of these and, you know, it was like, hey, I could have grabbed 25 of those. Not in my area and not by a long shot. So I'm super glad that this was one of the items included in the trade. It is out of the basics, but it is a store exclusive. Of course, it's the beautiful 92 Honda Civic EG hatch in the Zamac. Just absolutely gorgeous. So that will wrap my Zamac Honda up to date now with the EF was the last one that I picked up, and now I am in possession of the beautiful EG. So super, super cool. And then, man, all right. So again, many of you guys were able to find this set in your local Walmarts. It's a store exclusive out of the Silver Series. We saw remnants, and when I say remnants, we saw none. So I am super, super glad that I was able to finally get this set and get it put together. And so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and leak it from the bottom coming up. Let me know when you think you know what it is. Oh yeah, there we go. The beautiful Brian O'Connor Fast and Furious Silver Series for Hot Wheels. That is the iconic Eclipse, just absolutely beautiful. The only, believe it or not, the only Fast and Furious Eclipse that I do have in my collection, and it is Silver Series. I do not own the premium. That will change soon. And then, of course, the probably next most iconic car out of the same set, this beauty right here, the beautiful Toyota Supra from the Brian O'Connor series as well. Number 2 in the series. And man, just an absolutely beautiful car. I do have this in the 5-pack, but it's a lot different to have it in an individual pack like this. And then, not to be outdone, its non-colored brother from Fast and Furious 6, the beautiful white Toyota Supra driven by Brian as he rides off into the sunset, and will be the last time that we have Paul Walker in any of the Fast and Furious movies, which is sad and just absolutely a travesty that had to happen to him. But yeah, so super, super awesome to have this one in the collection as well. And then to round it out, since I already did have one of the cars from the series, the Escort, of course, his final iconic vehicle from Too Fast, Too Furious. It jumps bridges, of course. It's the beautiful Liberty Walk, not Liberty Walk, sorry, just the BNR R34 GTR Skyline. So absolutely iconic, gorgeous car, and super glad that we were able to make a deal so that I could get these into the collection. And then he said, hey, do you have the newest set for about the villains? And I said, no, I've seen them, but I've seen the same cars that everyone sees. I've seen the Aston Martin, and I've seen the, I think it's the purple, whatever it is, the Chevy Nova. That's the only two I've seen. Nope. This is the one that he said he would throw into the mix. And of course, you got to have the villain car from the first Fast and Furious movie, Johnny Tran's beautiful Honda S2000. And just rounding out an absolutely awesome, awesome set. But we're not done. So I was talking to him about not being able to find boulevards in the area. And he said, hey, I know how I can get some boulevards for you. I know somebody who's going to be able to get them for you. So just let me know and we can throw that in too. And so absolutely we did. So of course, I'm talking about this set right here, number 122 out of the latest Boulevard release, the beautiful 16 Bugatti Chiron. Next up, we have not everybody's favorite, but I can appreciate it for what it is, the beautiful Myers Manx number 125. I think that it's iconic. Just to have the Myers Manx to be done in a 164 is awesome. That Hot Wheels is brave enough to make this into a 164 vehicle, so you can appreciate it for that. One of the favorites of the set, of course, this beauty right here, the beautiful Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7 in this beautiful black and red. I don't think they could have made a better Porsche than this with this casting. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and this is a definite home run. And then another home run, I think, from the set, and it's, I guess, peg warming. I don't understand why, but this one, the beautiful 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302, that is a very good representation of the Boss 302. Just looking at the body lines and the way it's done, it is unmistakably a Boss 302. Hot Wheels does a really good job on these Boss castings, and this is no exception. So super, super awesome. And then last but not least, of course, the JDM of the bunch, the one that everyone was also clamoring over. Of course, the beautiful Datsun 510 wagon in this black and yellow livery. I call it the Pittsburgh Steeler 510 wagon. But yes, absolutely an awesome and epic trade. Just a fantastic new collector. He's a younger guy, and he's doing it the right way, guys. He is getting out there. He is finding things. He's making trades. He's not selling. He is basically doing it because he loves the hobby. He loves to get new things, and he would rather trade than sell. And it's so awesome and so refreshing to not come across sellers who are just trying to sell you everything that they find in a store. He is basically looking to always trade first, and that's my motto too. Trade first when you can, because that's the best way to do it in this hobby, and it creates new relationships with people so that you're able to, you know, foster those relationships, and maybe I'll be the next one that finds things that he needs, and we can do a trade the opposite way. So definitely awesome. It was definitely worth it. Supers are supers, but you know what? These are epic castings, and I am not going to regret not having those supers for even a second. So super, super cool. But yeah, get out there, guys. Get into your supermarkets, get into your oddball stores. Go find what you love. Go collect what you love, as long as it's JDM. I'm kidding. Collect whatever you want. But hey guys, thanks for coming along. Thanks for checking out all of these beautiful, beautiful castings. And as always, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed already, you know what? It's free. Subscribe. Would love to have you along for the ride, and who knows where we'll take this channel next. So thanks again, everybody. It's always fun doing these videos. I'm over 100 videos now. I can't believe I've done over 100 videos, but super glad that many of you have come along, and keep those comments coming. I really appreciate it. Till the next time, guys, this is Super JDM Diecast, and I'm out.